So we want to anchor this side, so then when this slides across, this isn't going to move. And then this guy goes nice and tight and into his carotids. We're going to attack this one from the north-south. And there's a lot of different ways that you can attack a choke from here. You don't see them a lot, mostly because people worry about control issues because you've only got the head, but the head's like right there underneath you, so like it's a very easy way of attacking somebody. So what I like to do is when I'm already in a north-south pin, okay, so Kami Shiho Gatame, upper 4/4 pin. So normally I'm in an over-under sort of position, or I'm double under like this, okay? So regardless of which way I decide to do it, we'll start with the belt grab because it's a little bit easier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my far arm and I'm going to kind of windshield wiper it over onto this side underneath his neck, okay? So it's come over here and slides inside his lapel right through there. Okay, and that gives me an anchor and it brings my arm up, okay? So like this, sharp part in, bicep pushing down, okay? So it was under here, and just windshield wipers over to the other side. If you can't get it inside of his gi, just pull his gi open, thread it through and grab, okay? Slide your hand over to the other lapel. Once you grab a hold of that, you're just gonna collapse down. So he's gonna sit up and I'm gonna do it so that you can kind of see how we're doing this. Okay, so this arm comes across and you thread your hand into the gi, okay? So my hand's right here, and I do that. A lot of times you just slip it straight through and you don't even have to feed it. But if you need to feed it, don't worry about it.
It's Derek, your right hand is, in other words, grabbing an inside of his collar, really, isn't it? Okay, yeah, good. Okay.
Right through there like that, okay?
Got you.
Okay, then, especially if I've just threaded or the gi right there, all I'm going to do is slip my hand to the far lapel, okay?
Let's get that there. So it's the far lapel.
Like that, right?
And is palm up the better one? I assume so, yeah.
I mean, you can do it like this, but the problem is that you have to have a lot of torque down this way and a lot of torque up that way. So I prefer to go down because it allows me to collapse everything down.
Yeah, that's the natural movement of your elbow too. So palm up's the way you want to grab inside the lapel guys.
You've got both hands palm up.
Yep.
Yeah, both hands are palm up. Yeah, good point.
Like that, okay? So, and a lot of times when I've had to open this up and grab, my hand's already that way anyways, so it's a real easy slide to the other side. Grab nice and tight on both of them, and then collapse, okay?
Okay, so from the Kami Shiho Gatame, the upper hold of north-south situation.
So his arm is in my armpit at this point. If you're over top like this, shift and get his arm kind of up on your thigh and in your armpit, okay? And then I'm gonna switch across, okay? Grab the gi, slide, and there you go. Let's do it this way. I don't know if this will help you guys see it any better. Okay, so see how his head's kind of in my armpit and resting on top of my thigh, okay? My arm windshield wipers over, okay? Grab the lapel on that side, grab the lapel on the other side, okay? You can kind of see what my arms are doing. This wouldn't be my normal finishing position, but you can see where the arms are going now. This is an anchor, so that when this guy pulls, that makes sense. Like every lapel choke relies on this idea of using this as like an anchor. So this tightens so that your hands can finish the choke without having to be together, right? So if I just went like this with my hands, that's not going to do anything. But since I've got this piece of cloth behind it, that anchors them so that when I do that, it puts more pressure all the way around, and it works kind of like your hands are a wrench. Okay? Right. So we want to anchor this side, so then when this slides across, this isn't going to move. And then this guy goes nice and tight and into his carotids. Okay? So you're really not trying too much to squeeze with this hand. I'm trying to hold nice and tight behind the head so that this is super tight. See how tight it is over there? Yeah. Okay? And then we just loop this back. Gotcha. Okay. Normally when you're in Katate Shiho, we're right through here. When I'm doing it, normally I'm like pinning the guy's ears with my knees and I'm putting my chest down on his like chin area. So all of my central body weight is on top of him. But even if you're flattened out, his head is still usually somewhere in the middle. So if I try and go after this choke from there, it gets really difficult. You know, you can do it, but when you're first learning it, your hands get kind of lost, okay? And a lot of times you're like, I can't fit my arm underneath there. I keep running into his head, or you know, I keep running into this. Eventually you'll figure out that there's a nice little hole at the base of his neck. Until then, we're gonna make it really easy on you. So we switch from pinning to starting to transition to the choke by just shifting 45 degrees and then jamming your knee underneath his head. And then see how that makes a little pillow out of my thigh and gets his head up off the ground? And now my hand has this big hole to shift through right there, okay? Okay.
So he's parking his head. Everybody see how he's trapping his head? So that lets him, with the right hand, Derek's trapping the head. Now watch what he does with that left hand.
Okay. So you really just have to get a piece of something on this side, because the idea really is to anchor here, and that way the rest of the work is done by the gi and your other hand, okay? Just almost all chokes, especially the cross ones, you need an anchor hand on this side, and it does a little bit of choking, but it really doesn't need to, because you're gonna loop the rest of it and use your hand to finish, okay? So it's the same kind of idea here. I'm gonna anchor on this side so that the gi tightens, and then the form and the gi finish. Okay? So shift 45 degrees this way, slide your knee underneath his head, and then you've got a nice little path to swoop your arm through.
It really gives you a good angle to make that strangle happen, that choking from the top hand, to let the top hand come over the top there.
Okay, boom, we're pinning, shifting, pull him up onto the thigh, shift my arm through, grip, slide across, and there's your choke.
Really, because you're doing it with a single hand. You know, the main choking hand, in the case of like it should be your right hand in this particular case. Some people will call this Katate, single hand Jime, Katate Jime. It goes by different names. You know, different nomenclature. That's probably probably the most closest, but it might be going to some different names, different people, different coaches calling it different things too. Might be one of the Jime series, could easily be. So anyway, that's a good way to catch them from a Kami Shiho Gatame upper four corner hold, north-south situation. It's really sneaky. Remember, chokes are meant to be sneaky. The good ones always are. They just sneak up on a guy and it's, it finishes it real quick. So he doesn't think he's going to get choked. He just thinks he's getting stuck for a pin. He's kind of vulnerable, and you catch him. All right, let's practice it. Good move.